You're tuned in to Inside Lowell. Inside Lowell podcast brought to you in part by Washington Savings Bank, serving the greater Lowell community for over 130 years. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. UniCare, offering a variety of plans for people insured under the GIC. At UniCare, your health is their top priority. Reverie 73, Lowell's #1 cannabis shop. Elevate your cannabis experience at Reverie 73. Hafner's, heating and cooling homes and businesses for nearly a century. Become a part of the Hafner's family. It kicks. Boston North Company, offering a wide variety of business solutions to help restaurant and retail clients save money. Boston North. And by Mahoney Oil Company, providing warmth and protection to families in Greater Lowell and Southern New Hampshire since 1925. That's Mahoney Oil. And now, time for another Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another Inside Lowell podcast. I am your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you from the Inside Lowell studios here in beautiful, historic downtown Lowell. Excited to bring you another Health Minute with Dr. Langer, brought to you by our friends at UniCare. UniCare, a health benefits company providing health benefits to employees insured under the state's GIC program, and that includes state employees, but also municipal employees. You probably know one or two teachers, firefighters, police officers here in the city of Lowell. So we're excited to have them partnering with us at Inside Lowell, and excited to have them bringing you these health minutes with Dr. Langer. Figure it's an appropriate time to bring in Dr. Carolyn Langer herself. She is the medical director at UniCare. Hello again, doctor. Good to have you here.
Great to be here again, Teddy.
Awesome to have you here. You are the medical director. What does that mean for those not familiar with what you do on a day-to-day basis?
So as the medical director, I try to advance the whole person health of our members at UniCare, providing clinical leadership and clinical strategies to really help improve individuals' health outcomes.
You say whole health, and looking at your career, you've kind of run the whole gamut of it. You've been a physician executive holding leadership positions at a number of different health plans, but you work as an educator, you sit on advisory boards, you have a law degree, you have a master's degree in public health from Harvard University, and you also come from a military background, retired colonel and former flight surgeon in the Army National Guard. Was that your favorite, by the way?
I have to admit, that was definitely one of my favorite activities, and just such a great experience. Where else would I have gotten to learn how to fly helicopters?
I love it. And with that background, as I mentioned, you are kind of uniquely qualified to deal with whole health, which is an important part of what UniCare does. If you look at the company's website, it talks an awful lot about whole health. For those who don't know what that means, what is whole health?
Well, at UniCare, we try to address more than just the physical health. So we try to look at the mental health, the emotional well-being, the social well-being of our members. By
the mental health component and the social well-being, that was something that wasn't really discussed back in the day. It was kind of taboo. When did that change, and why did that begin to change?
Yeah, historically it was somewhat of a stigma to admit that you had a mental health condition, but fortunately that has changed over time. And part of it is because it is a part of a person's whole health. I don't believe in cutting off the patient at the neck. Mm-hmm. But it's also important because somebody's mental health and social well-being can also impact their physical health. And so we really have to think about the whole person.
In what ways does it impact folks?
So it can impact them in multiple ways. Your mental health and social well-being can impact the way that you function every day. But it also has been shown to exacerbate people who have chronic conditions. So that's why it's really important to think of these as all interrelated. Mm-hmm.
So we're coming up, before you know it, Thanksgiving will be here, and then the Christmas holidays and all the other holidays that end the year, and New Year's, and you look around you and you're supposed to be festive, you're supposed to be joyous, and many people are. but for a lot of people, they're fighting it, and it's kind of called the holiday blues. What are the holiday blues really, though?
Yeah, it's not unusual for people to feel some additional stress, maybe even some depression and anxiety during the holiday period. There are a lot of expectations and obligations around the holiday period. And as you said, for some people, this is not a joyous time.
What are some of the things to look for, so to kind of recognize that, maybe I'm dealing with something a little bit more than just the stress of I need to wrap all these presents by tomorrow night, or else Santa's not going to show up. What are some of the troubling signs, the warning signs I should look for?
Yeah, just like your car has a dashboard that helps you recognize some problems that might be developing with your car, you have your own personal dashboard. And so it's important to really keep track of that and gauge that as well. So when we think about your mental health and your personal dashboard, just as you have a gauge on your car to look at fuel, you need to look at your own personal energy levels as well. Just like you can monitor the temperature of your car, you need to think about your emotional well-being. It's important to also recognize when things might be off. So if you're just not having the same energy levels, it's hard for you to get up in the morning and go to work or go to school. You have no desire to interact with others, whereas before maybe you were. Your eating patterns are off, your sleeping is off. These are all might be signs that you're experiencing the holiday blues.
You talked in that answer a little bit about sleep and eating and food, fuel, right? The body needs fuel. The brain kind of does as well, right?
It does. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you're doing the right self-care, especially during the holiday season. Make sure that you're eating adequately, make sure that you're drinking fluids, make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Get some exercise, and it doesn't mean having to go to a gym. Something as simple as walking, getting outdoors and just walking 3 to 5 times a week for about half an hour can be so refreshing and can really improve your mental well-being as well as your physical condition. So it's important to take care of yourself.
Do you almost have to kind of establish a routine, or can you like the exercise component at the holidays? It's tough to find that time to put it aside. Is routine important, or is it just, make that time whenever you can?
It's good if you can build it into your day and carve out that time. And it is so important to try. I know it's easier said than done, but it is important to carve out that time for yourself when you can just have time to recharge and refresh.
What about when I've tried some of the things you talked about? I am getting enough sleep. I'm trying to eat as well as you can eat during the holidays, and I'm still down. I'm still feeling better. How do you recognize when's the right time to go seek help, and whether that is just talk to a friend or a family member, or to go and try to get some professional help?
Yeah, if you're feeling a little off, I advise reaching out to family, friends. Just talking to people, having a lighthearted conversation can often really help improve your emotions. If you find, though, that you're not improving, I would encourage anyone to seek out professional help as well.
And when you say professional help, what types of professional help is available for folks, especially during the holidays where things kind of shut down from a work perspective?
Yeah, so if you have access to a behavioral health professional in your community, that's excellent. But if you don't, there are so many virtual care options available now. At UniCare, we offer a virtual care service 24/7, even during the holidays. And if you're not a UniCare member, you can reach out to a state helpline. It's called Mass Helpline, and I want to make sure I give you the right number. It's 1-833-773-2445. And you can call that number and chat with somebody. It's a free service and confidential.
They also have a website that you could go to, masshelpline.com.
That's right. That's
Is
right.
that correct? And how do you need to have insurance? I know you, so you offer that, UniCare offers it for the people that they insure through the GIC, but are these things available to somebody who might not have those options?
That's right. If you don't have health insurance, such as uh, through UniCare, anybody can reach out to Mass Help line and get free and confidential services.
Is it, you're finding that it's easier for people to do the virtual type of healthcare rather than going and making an appointment and seeing somebody in person, which again, I'm 57, so a lot of that carried a certain stigma that you didn't want to admit it. Do you find the virtual component has opened some doors and made it easier for people?
Yeah, and we saw this especially during the pandemic. Having these virtual services has really made these services so accessible, bringing them to you in your home. So for some people, they feel less anxious getting these services in the home through telehealth. And for others who might have transportation issues or childcare issues, it's a great option in place of in-person services.
Well, the world is changing and for the better, because this is something that we're now focusing on, and you and I are able to actually do a podcast about it. Dr. Langer, I want to thank you for joining us again, and thank you for being a part of this Health Minute series with Dr. Langer, brought to you by our friends at UniCare.
Great. Thank you, Teddy. Great to be here today.
Great to have you. Can't wait to have you back, and can't wait to have all of you back as well. Thank you for joining us on this Health Minute with Dr. Langer, brought to you by our friends at UniCare, as we say. Till next time, everybody, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.
I think that did the